Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
I'm Michael.
And I'm getting over a cold. Sorry.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is. But at least I can talk, so that's
Because I didn't get anything.
Nope.
But your uncle did.
Yeah.
And your dad did.
It came from me,
It came
whatever
from your
it
dad.
was. In May, we played a bunch of games. I went home, and then we went to BGG Con. I ended up learning about 40 games. And so now we're going to talk about our top 10 games that we learned in May.
40's not a lot for you.
No, I mean, I think, in April I learned like 80 or something.
Yeah. But
so,
we had to play test the game, and so that's why the counts were low.
Yeah.
But that's fine, because we do have 10 really great games to share.
Yeah, talk about.
Yeah. My number 10. Do you have it ready?
Are we ready? We're going to just go.
Well, it's up to
I'm
you.
ready.
This is your show. I'm just on it.
I'm ready.
My number 10 is Full Throttle. So this is really, I compare it a lot to Downforce in that you are basically, in Downforce, you basically, for each stage, you bet on certain cars to win, and then whenever one of those numbers is played, your car races around and stuff. Well, Full Throttle is somewhat similar, except you're racing motorcycles around. And the really cool part is that when these cards come out, each player is going to take one of the cards that was played that round and set it aside. Well, when that happens, those cards are out of circulation for that vehicle. So if I want the blue to win and I take that blue card out, I am basically hampering the blue vehicle, making it around the track. And we had several times that blue was in the very rear.
Like a lap behind.
Blue was like a lap behind. And no one took blue. And by the time the end of the race happened, all the blue cards came out and then reshuffled and kept coming out. And so blue did really well. And I managed to pick up a couple on the way. And so, but I think
you're trying to pull these cards to gain points at the end of the game for the top 3 positions of these bicycles. And so, like, one color might be doing really well, but you don't know what your opponents are taking, or eventually you'll know what cards are being pulled to try and, like, ruin your opponents also. So it's like,
yeah, like if you're the last player, you get to take one out of circulation completely, not theirs, not yours, but a third one entirely, and you just basically take it out. I think that part is a really ingenious type of and simple.
It is simple and just a lot of fun.
Simple mechanism.
It's fun to see what actually happens when the time comes at the very end. Which ones will place. Scrambling the last lap and just to try and figure it out, but
and I don't think that this is like a standard Friedman Freeze game. This is a little different.
No, this is really cool. It's fun. It's a nice game. I think everybody should at least try it. Absolutely. I don't even like race games, but
you don't like race games, but you like.
I do like betting and like hidden betting. So this feels like that.
This is definitely hidden betting.
It's push your luck too. Like, should I take this 3 red out? But then the 3 red's out, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah, if I take the 3 as the bet, well, then that's a 3 movement card gone.
Yeah.
Preferably, you take a 1 from something you like.
Yeah.
If you take a 3, make sure it's the one that your opponent has a lot of.
Yeah.
But I think that the. You're going to score based on how many of those cards you've collected. So
yeah, I
think it's fairly unique in how it does all that. So Full Throttle, my number 10.
There was a comment that they used to have an arcade game in the 80s. Did you ever play it?
Mm-mm.
Neither did I.
If I did, I don't recognize it as such.
Oh. Did I do?
I don't know. I don't recognize your number. Yeah. Oh, I do recognize that number 10.
Yeah, that's for you. That's yours.
Oh, that's mine. Well, what's your number 10?
My number 10
is one I haven't played because I don't recognize it.
It is the Guild of Merchant Explorers.
Whoa.
Well, so
I like it.
It was rated highly by Dale, and I was
Then
like,
I'll probably like it.
oh, that sounds cool. And so in the game, it's almost like a deck building, but not really, because you're revealing cards, and then you'll have to expand out, placing your cubes down to try and like get to new islands, complete your islands for points. So there's a lot of different paths to try and take with any given flip of a card. You're going to place so many cubes down on your board. And then so eventually as the game goes on, you're going to be getting more cards to give you a variety versus like what Dan has, or like if a special age 1 card comes out, everybody finds their age 1 bonus, and then they do that. So everybody's going to have to do something a little bit differently. And so you're trying to get points by exploring the different lands, making connections, trade routes, and stuff like that. And
So is there a map component?
There's a map. Everybody has their individual map that they're putting their cubes down on. And so you're trying to complete things for points. And then every era or round or whatever, the map clears. And so if you've created an anchor or a port or something, you can start from any port in the next round. You don't have to start from the center one. So you're trying to like build that up a little bit. So it's
upgrades to your deck
light.
and upgrades to your map.
Yeah, and it's pretty light. I mean, it's basically a roll and write, but a little bit more extravagant. Like it's a little bit meatier than just his typical roll and write.
Cool.
But I think it's pretty interesting.
Enough to hit your top 10 anyway.
Yeah, no, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
So I want to see. There's different levels to play and stuff like that.
But we don't have it.
It's on TTS, so that's where we played it. Just the basic game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other things to make it different inside the actual box. No, I don't have it yet. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll get it sometime.
Yeah,
I really liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. So that was my number 10.
Tamarella has it pre-ordered.
Nice. Is it not out yet? I don't even know. It might not be out yet.
I don't know.
Your number 9.
My number 9 is Tortuga 2199 with the 9999.
999.
That's why I had my 9, I guess. So yeah, this is when I looked at the back of the box, I saw a bunch of tiles. And I saw components on a map.
Space exploration. I thought it was like a big space
I thought
game.
it was going to be either a boring dudes on a map game or a 4X game. And I don't think it's either. It's a deck builder. And you go around to these sectors and you basically spend points to either collect cards or you spend points to move and or do combat. Your movement and your combat is basic. You normally in a lot of games you have movement or you have combat. In this, your movement is your combat. And your credits are your credits. So you use your credits to buy
It
stuff.
definitely has some interesting mechanics and different. It feels different.
Yes.
So it has that going for it for sure.
Yeah, the only thing that drops it to a 9 for me is that the board is static, fairly static anyway. The 4, at least on a 2-player game, the 4 systems on the outside are going to stay on the outside, maybe in a different order, but it's ultimately the same-ish. And it's basically I'm gonna claim this system, then you can take it away from me, and I'm gonna take it back away from you. It might work better or worse at 3 or 4 players. It's
hard to know.
It's hard to know in this case. Mm-hmm. I remember in both games that we played, I got this 10 cost mayor card. There's one in the game. I don't think it won it for me. But Steph seemed to think that it was super powerful. It didn't come up often enough for me so what the mayor does is for every it's basically the game is a race to 15 victory points.
Which is for me the biggest downfall.
Yeah, and you don't like race to points, which I totally get. What the mayor does is when I reveal the mayor, for every 2 hexes that I have control over, I'm going to get 1 free victory point. One of the 15 that I need. And because I spend my time getting the credits in order to get the mayor, I have wasted a lot of time in taking over locations. So by the time I took over my first location, you had 5 or 6 locations. But then I slowly went and took over all those locations that you had spent your time taking over, and you didn't have anything left to show for it. I think that might be a little bit of a downfall. That said, I think you should totally try it. If you like deck builders, if you like area control sort of things. It doesn't really have area control, but you go in, spend your resources, and then you have control of that area. So it sort of is area control. It's just not, you don't have resources to control the area. You know what I'm saying? You don't have like dudes on a map to take control of an area.
Yeah, so that's how it differs from like Tyrants of the Underdark, which you haven't played.
I haven't played.
But it has a similar feeling.
Got it.
But yeah, I think it definitely surprised me.
Because
I liked it more than I thought it was going to.
Because you looked at the back like I did, and you were turned off by the back.
Yeah. It's an attractive cover, though.
It's a really attractive cover, but the back doesn't give you a good representation of, hey, this is going to be a deck builder.
Yeah, it should have had like cards with like
it looks
background.
Like, it looks like Eclipse.
It does, but it's obviously going to be lighter than Eclipse.
Yes, it looks like a lighter version of Eclipse, and it's not. It's not Eclipse.
No.
And that's fine. It is what it is. I just don't want to give anyone the impression that that's what it is. Yeah. But that's what the back looks like to me.
Yeah.
Is that it's dark space hexes. And so that's the first thing I thought of. So I enjoy Eclipse, but it's not Eclipse.
No.
Tortuga 21.99 from who is that by? Gray Fox Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should shout out the publishers more often.
Yeah, should do that.
I need to remember who they are. I didn't write them down. Your number 9.
My number 9.
Number 9.
Sumatra. It's a Knizia game. I ended up picking it up in the virtual flea market, and no better person to teach me the game than Eric Martin, because he's a pretty big Knizia fan.
Oh.
And I knew he would know the game, and I was not wrong. He did know the game. He's like, I really like the game, so don't listen to what anybody has to say. I'm like, I didn't see any reviews anyway, so I just knew he would know it, and lo and behold, he did. So he was able to teach me one morning, and it's clever. So there's like a board, and you're walking. You're visiting, you're a tourist, and you're trying to collect the different sites of this island. Trying to like get Wi-Fi, you're trying to like meet the people, you're trying to see the animals, all the things you do.
The things you do in Sumatra.
Yeah.
Get Wi-Fi.
Get Wi-Fi. But the clever mechanic here is like, you can go on ahead or you can stay with the tour guide. So the tour guide's going to be in a location, and then you're going around this path. But if you move ahead, the tour guide has to follow you. So then everybody else has to then follow you. So you have to either...
Wow, that's interesting.
So like at this place you're sitting, if you don't like any of the tiles you're drafting, because it's a set collection.
Move on.
Move on. And then make everybody else follow you.
That's actually really interesting. I bet I would like that.
Yeah. So we'll play it. And so...
because we have it now.
It's a situation where timing is everything. Do you stick around to try and get a few more tiles here? Or do you go ahead and try and push your luck to see if something better comes out later, even though it probably won't. So it has a good timing situation. So I really liked it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
And obviously the cover is really attractive too. I love that when covers are just like...
Yeah, it looks good.
Really attractive like that. So it was...
Recognizable font.
I can't read it at all.
No, but
I mean, just like the picture.
Yeah.
That's funny. So yeah, we'll try and play that on stream sometime, I think.
Yeah. That would be cool. So yeah. Who is that? What is the publisher on that?
Oh, I think it's Ludonova.
We'll have to take a look.
I think it's Ludonova.
My number 8.
Number 8
is Downtown Farmers Market.
Oops.
Well, oops, that was a wrong one. Downtown Farmers Market.
Yeah.
In this game, you have a set of victory conditions that goes across the top, basically covering 4 columns.
Yeah.
And you have victory conditions down the side that are quite similar, but they're for the 4 rows. And so you've got basically a 4x4 grid, and you are going to draft tiles from a grid that are basically the 6 things that you could get from a farmer's market: eggs and milk and cheese and bread and I guess 6 different things.
Milk.
Yeah, I said that.
I don't remember.
But yeah.
Is there a banana?
No, there's no banana. So you're drafting tiles and placing them somewhere in your 4x4 grid in order to complete those objectives. And it's really hard to get your horizontals lined up and along with your verticals. And so if you can, then you can max out your points. Now, the really interesting thing is when you are dealt your first batch of tiles, you can choose which side of the tile to use. There's obviously one with lower point values and one with higher point values. But the way that your tiles will come up is, hey, maybe I've got a lot of things with cheese in it already, and you don't want to put cheese in every single row because you're not going to get that many cheese tiles. So, oh yeah, corn and potatoes, yes. Thank you, Los Torpedoes. So I think it's, you love drafting.
I do.
You love tile laying.
I really like this game.
You like grid games.
Yeah, no, this is totally right up my alley.
So Downtown Farmers Market, it's really cute in how it does.
I don't really win because I always go for the high point stuff anyway, even though if it doesn't make sense.
So it'll be like, get one of everything. Get 7 different
Get 5
things.
Total.
Get 11 different things. Get 5 exact things.
Or no, just 5 total.
Yeah, 5 total.
5 anything. So hard.
Make sure
really
that, cheese is your most in the row. Things like that. So it's really cool.
It's really good. And you can play like a kid version that if that's too much, you can play with younger kids, with just like collecting sets of corn or whatever.
Yeah, you're going to score for your biggest set, I think, in the
row and stuff. So it's like super cute. I really like this. It comes in a small, nice case. It's a good game.
And what's the publisher, since I don't?
Blue Orange.
Blue Orange. There you go.
Blue Orange. Orange.
Like Tiny Towns, which I love, asked Mike Tyson. No, not like Tiny Towns at all.
No.
Tiny Towns is very abstract and cutthroat. I don't like abstract. Steph doesn't like cutthroat.
True.
That said, Tiny Towns does have a lot going for it. This is different, I think.
Yeah. It's not like that.
Right.
This has drafting of tiles, but you're basically working on your own board where nobody else can really affect you.
Yeah, nobody else can mess you over.
Except if they take your tile.
Oh, they can take your tile. That happened with us.
Or like a Sudoku.
And I think it is sort of like a Sudoku in a way.
You're trying to get things perfectly in place, yes.
But you don't want, and you, like, sometimes you don't want a milk to appear, and then the only thing you can draft is milk, and then, hey, you're screwed.
Put it somewhere else. So, yeah.
If you can, for sure. And at the end, sometimes you have no choice.
Yeah. All right. My number.
Your number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8. Yeah, I don't have your list in front of me, so.
Get on board.
I have not played this one either.
New York and London. Have you played Let's Make a Bus Route?
Yes.
That's this version.
What?
Except this version has maps of New York and London. And it has a 2-player map.
Let's make a get on board bus route.
Yes. It's found on Board Game Arena. So that's where I played
Tom Rolla says I played it with Steph. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did play it.
So I was really bad at keeping up my BG stats list. And so I was going through, I was like, oh, yeah, I see Steph plays some with Time Roller on here. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was just playing late night and he joined my games. I was like,
That's
all right, great. I can log it now.
Did you play on stream with them too? Did you play on stream?
I don't think so. Maybe if Misty was streaming once, I played with her. I don't know. It's all a blur. But I do really like Get on Board. It's Let's Make a Bus Route. And I can't remember who's.
And you love Let's Make a Bus Route, so. Except Route.
Is one better than the other? No. They're both great. They both are the same. It's the same. They made it a little bit harder with the New York map because in the middle is all traffic as it should be.
Oh, wow. Yeah, for sure. And then you can't go over those because...
Right, well, you can, but you're going to get traffic.
But you're going to get the negative points, yeah.
So it's interesting. I'm just happy that people can play it and get it because I always really liked Let's Make a Password. So...
This version versus the Japanese edition, one better than the other?
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, But everyone knows it's called Let's Make a Bus Route.
I think this is being produced by Yellow.
Route.
It's Root.
Route. Let's take a poll. How many says Root? How many says Route?
Not fair.
Whoa, no.
Not fair.
I think that's 2-1.
Let's make a Gugong
Let's make a Gugong route.
Wait a minute.
Let's make a bus route. Thank you, Time Roller. It depends. I say it both ways.
Shelby, be on my side.
No. Pumping poker. No. Back. You're so bad.
It's like a whack-a-mole.
No.
Whack-a-mole.
Not a mole.
But it's really great. And just so we know, it's get on board. It's not let's make a bus route. So we don't even really have to have this conversation.
Right.
It's get on board.
Get on board. Get on board is number 7 from... You said yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah, it's got a little yellow in the corner.
Yellow.
No, that's your number 8.
That was my number 8.
Not number 7. My number 7.
I'm not... Oh, I am ready. Yeah. Okay.
My number 7 is Set a Watch Swords of the Coin.
Oops.
It what?
The cat. The poor cat.
Small friend is hidden. So, as long as I'm not hidden, I don't care. Well, yeah. So if you've played Set a Watch, you have basically played Swords of the Coin. Well, why bother getting it then? Well, because the Swords of the Coin, first of all, it's standalone. You don't even have to have Set a Watch to play this. Second of all, it comes with more characters, and more characters is always a good thing. Most importantly of all, it comes with a merchant, and the merchant comes between the camp phase and the explore phase, the watch phase, where you can take coins that you have gathered during the camp phase in order to buy equipment. New gear is always better. And so you use your equipment when you are on watch. So it's Set a Watch turned up one more notch. So it adds different acolyte abilities. Obviously adds new monsters that will pop up. Adds the new creatures. So basically, if you only have Set a Watch, that's fine. If you only have Swords of the Coin, that's fine. If you have both, you can just combine them together.
Mix and match.
I know that Rock Manor, right?
Yeah.
So Rock Manor has a deluxe edition that has both of them in 2 of the little magnet closed boxes side by side. You can get it in one big pack.
Yeah.
I would just combine them all together. Somebody that was on stream, I can't remember who, said that they will not play without it now that they have it.
Yeah.
So totally recommend Set a Watch Swords of the
We did
Coin.
play it on stream and got a lot of compliments on your rules, so you did a good job teaching.
Good.
So if you'd like to learn how to play, that's a good rule. That's a good
rule
video
to teach.
to watch. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Watch it, play it. Play
Good
it.
job. Thank you. I appreciate it.
My number
7.
7. Hey, we just talked about it. Downtown Farmers Market.
Time says yellow, governor.
I like this better than you, I guess. Just by a little bit. But it's totally my type of game. I mean, it really is. The tile placements, just pushing your luck to be like, it's going to come out at the perfect time. I'm going to get what I want. And then you never do. Or I never do, I should say.
Well, also because if I'm drafting first and I know she's looking for eggs, zoop, there goes the egg tile.
No, you're so mean to me.
Well, I mean, that's what I do.
I know. It's so sad. Not nice, Michael.
So I always thought it was, Chad had said yellow or yellow. Instead of yellow?
It's yellow.
Is it? Yeah, but I always wondered that until someone from Yellow told me. I always thought it was ILO or ELO. But no, before I heard, it's just yellow.
Yep. But this game was by Blue Orange, so it's a different color.
Yes. No, I was talking about the previous comment. So, yes.
But
yellow, blue, and orange.
That's right. Definitely worth checking out Downtown Farmers Market. I really like it. I'm glad we could play it on stream.
Downton Abbey Farmers Market.
Downton Abbey?
That's a good movie.
They don't have... Whoa. Bye, cat.
Small friend.
Yeah, they don't have Farmers Market in Downton Abbey. Right.
So, yeah, you love that movie. All right, my number 6. Are we on my number 6?
Yeah.
Is Switch and Signal.
Boom.
Co-op game where you are trying to basically pick up and deliver goods, but it's co-op style.
Yeah.
Everything works out just like basically a big puzzle because you're going to get event cards that pop up that are going to move your trains on the map, and you're trying to sort of direct those trains by switching switches and turning on and off signals so that you can route trains to different destinations to pick up goods and then take them to the port city. And on the Europe side, it's Marseille. On the back side, I believe it is New York and San Fran, where you're taking half the goods to New York, half the goods to San Fran. We've not played that second side. But,
no, it looks really cool.
It looks really interesting. The thing is, you don't know where those trains are going to start out, and those trains move at different speeds. And so it's a little bit of a puzzle. Hey, how do we get the pokey gray trains to move, and the medium speed brown trains, and the high speed black trains to all go to where they need to go without crashing into one another? The more things crash into one another, or the more that they get stopped by a signal, the more time tokens you lose, and the more of those you lose, the more event cards you lose. And when the event cards run out, you're done.
Too bad.
That's pretty much like what it is. Time Roll says, I described it like a tower defense game.
I don't really see that, but
you're trying to route the trains as if they were the critters that are coming through, and as long as you can get them through, then nothing bad happens. Now, tower defense, you're trying to kill them before they get to the end, but I can see where it might be
compared
a little bit as tower defense. So,
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Kind of reverse. You're wanting them to get through instead of to get stopped. Yeah, reverse tower defense. Yeah, I could totally see that. I found it interesting trying to make sure that things could move into a city, then back out of a city. The actions are rather simple. You can, you got cards to turn on the green signals, cards to turn on the black signals, cards to move trains. And if you don't have those, then you can play two of anything to do anything you want. But that's basically all the actions you have in your hand.
Yeah.
So now the first game we played off stream, we sort of had an asterisk game because
I think we still would have won anyway.
I think because we totally won. We didn't discard a card to load the goods. Well, as long as you can remember to do that, should be fine. But yeah, I think it's a fun puzzle.
It is. It's nice.
Yep. And I can imagine them making all sorts of different maps.
Oh yeah.
So
I see that.
Yeah. Switch and Signal.
Pretty cool. I like it a lot.
From Cosmos.
Yeah.
I remembered that one.
Nice. What's mine?
You're what? You're number 6?
Number 6.
Dun, dun, dun.
Set a watch. Swords of the Coin.
Hey,
I
know that one.
It's so good. It really is. I like having all the new player.
You like
powers.
the merchant?
I did like the merchant a lot.
Merchant's good.
I liked, everything. All the new people are really interesting. I like what
the Bounty
they
Hunter's
did.
your favorite?
No.
No.
I actually had a good time with the witch. She has D4s, but man, she's pretty good. With D4s, she better be good because D4s are not rolling
D4s
well.
are not.
But they thought of really interesting things to use for D4s, and I think that's really clever. So I mean, I do like the Bounty Hunter.
As opposed to the Barbarian with the big D12s, big honking dice. The monk can upgrade dice from 6s to 8s to 10s. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, I think, I want to play whatever they have coming out for that game because I think it's really well balanced.
Time Roller says, "Did y'all play the same games this month?" Well, we usually do.
We usually do.
But Steph usually plays some extra games on. Sometimes you'll play some extra games on, like with you and with Dan and Shrey, and so sometimes she will end up playing games that I don't play. If I'm playing games, she usually plays them because I don't play a lot of games outside of Steph.
Well, also, I had played Switch and Signal last year.
Right.
So that might have been on my list last year. I don't remember.
Yeah, a lot of times I will end up playing, like Space Station Phoenix, I will end up playing after you.
Yeah, because I played that at Gathering.
Which was April.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So things that'll show up on your list. One month they'll show up on your list later, but if we play in the same month, boom, a lot of times they hit the same month.
We have several coming up that are that we played.
Whoa.
Possibly.
That are the spoilers.
Possibly. But yeah, that was my number 6 with Set a Watch. It's really great.
Don't get spoilers. No, Puppet Poker. No.
So your number 5 is what?
Puppet Poker. No. My number 5 is SOS.
Sinking Ship.
Titanic. No.
Sinking. Senor Azul is sinking.
Hi, Slivers.
Hi, Slivers.
SOS Titanic has been compared to normal Solitaire. Patience, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's more to it than that. Basically, you are trying to rescue passengers off of the Titanic, and to do so, you're going to take first and second class citizens. Sorry, third class citizens. You didn't even make the card.
Yeah.
You've got them in different decks, basically. The lower deck, as you move up out of the ship, the lower decks are starting to fill up with water. You need to rescue the cards from those lower decks and push them up towards the front of the ship so that you can eventually get them off onto the lifeboats. Well, to do that, you've got to put first class citizens with first class citizens and second class citizens with second class citizens, because we don't associate with those second class citizens.
Not even when the boat is sinking.
I mean, the boat is sinking. Get your butt on the boat. No, well, what you're trying to do is when you are stacking them in the decks, not a card deck, but a boat deck. When you're stacking them within a deck, like I say, the class of citizens have to go together, and the 16s goes on 17, the 15 goes on the 16, the 14 on the 15, so you have them going descending order. When they get on the lifeboat, they go in ascending order. So your lifeboat is your number 1, and then you got a second class and a first class lifeboat. You will put the number 2 on, then the number 3 on, the number 4 on of that class of citizen. And it was really interesting because the women and children are on those lower numbers, and those are the ones that end up going onto the lifeboat first. Women and children first, right? And so the safety officer, they're the highest numbered card, and they're going last.
Yeah.
We play cooperatively, and we each have a crew ability. Like you could be the captain, you could be the fifth mate, you could be the whatever. Some sort of ability on the ship, and it will let you interact with the cards or the lifeboat in a interesting and different way. There are also different sort of gear cards that you can end up getting.
Yeah.
Especially if you what you'll do is, like in Solitaire, you draw 3, turn it over, draw 3, turn it over. In this, you get to draw between 1 and 5 based on your character. Look to see if you have one that can go on the ship. And if you can place them. If you can't, then they just go in the discard pile, and you have busted. You'll get a gear card, but you're going to turn the page on the book, which will make the ship start sinking.
Don't do that.
If a deck fills up with water, you're going to take both of your decks, you're going to shuffle them all up together and only reveal the top card. So you're going to have a lot of face down cards. And then one thing leads to another, and you don't rescue anyone.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really fun puzzle.
It is. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's definitely a spin on Solitaire. Because you are trying to line things up just like Solitaire. And I think it's pretty thematic.
It's much really better than if I said play a game based on Solitaire, you guys would be like, no, pass. No, it's much better than that.
You can play it as a solo game, but you can also play it co-op.
But I'm saying it's better than the game Solitaire.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's more to it. There's more happening. Much
more to it.
So I think it's really cool. I think it's a well done game.
Right. So yeah, I totally agree. It was a surprise when I like boat rescue games. I don't care for the Titanic theme or the Titanic movie theme, but I've enjoyed both Titanic games that I've learned.
I love the theme, obviously.
I
was a teenage girl when the movie came out, so.
Right. So it's
in the blood.
It's in the blood, yeah, for sure.
I had to see it 13 times.
I was not a teenage girl.
You were never a teenage girl.
No.
That's true. That's a good point. So it's super solid.
Is it better than Spider Solitaire? I don't know. I've never played Spider Solitaire.
Is that like Spider-Man Solitaire?
Chad has it on hold at his local game store.
Oh, good.
Lost Torpedo says Iceberg won.
This is true. This is very
true.
If
the boat disappears, then whoever's left on board is not going to be saved. So
No.
And you're going to get whatever crew that you have rescued. So there's also a cool little, it's not set collection, but if you can get the cards with the anchors onto one boat and the cards without anchors onto the other boat, you can get this anchor bonus, and it's just a way to sort of maximize your score. And what happens is, if you're greedy like me, then you end up losing passengers, and that's what happened to me because you're a bad person. No, yes, maybe maybe. So, yeah, Spider Solitaire is Windows version that came. There was another version of Solitaire on Windows computers called Spider Solitaire. So,
okay.
Cool. But I never did play it. So.
I'm not sure I played it.
That was my number 5 from
TGG Games or Matago.
Matago, yeah. TGG, all right. Your number 5.
My number 5.
Normally Steph pushes her luck, but this time it was Michael. I know, it's crazy, right?
It's true. It's true, I do. My number 5 was Foundations of Rome. Whoa! This game is like ginormous.
I thought your Foundations of Rome was up higher.
No.
Wow.
I had a lot of really great games this month. I see that. I ended up rating this an 8 out of 10.
So everything from this point on is 8 and higher?
It's what I mean. Like, they were really...
Whoa.
They were really great games.
Wow.
Actually, from Set a Watch on was...
like, fantastic.
I had a really great month of games, guys. So, Foundations of Rome.
So, not
super
quantity,
simple,
but quality for sure.
Yeah. So, I had a good month. Foundations of Rome, super simple game. It's kind of falls in line with like a game like acquire.
It's got that
or
acquire
big
grid
city.
on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, big city, things like that, where you're trying to place these buildings appropriately to score points. But the thing with this game that's so nice is that you're not really like locked in once you place it down. I mean, you are, but if you upgrade it, it can be upgraded to.
If you can make a bigger building, you can place the bigger building.
You can place a bigger building, which could be a different type. And these buildings play off of the surrounding buildings, so you're playing off of what other people are doing around you, and what you're possibly doing around you, so you can score off of your own buildings. And it's super clever, and there's different ways to score points in the game.
But it's basically grid tiling, is what it is.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't need to be in the ginormous box that it's in, but it's certainly a nice box. It's definitely a luxurious game for sure. But I was really impressed.
Now, you could actually do it all with cardboard, but I really found that the buildings do like pop out.
Yeah, it's cool.
If it's an income building, they're going to be one color. If they're a civic building, they're going to be another color. If it's a population building, it's going to be another color. And so everything sort of stands out.
Yeah.
And then, but none of the buildings stand out. They stand out shade-wise, but not color-wise, because the colors are the colors of the individual person's piece, the buildings. So there's like, if I put out my big block building, I will see my blue symbol on top that says what that building will give me. So it was really easy for me to see at a glance, hey, this scores off civic buildings. I want to put this next to those light colored civic buildings. But doesn't matter that it's my own civic buildings in this case. It's any civic buildings.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know that I was the one scoring. Now, when I take it off my player mat, what I'm scoring is the holes left on my player mat. And I think it makes it really elegant in how it scores.
It's really elegant.
Now, the one thing that might trip up people is you're given an initial batch of these grid numbers. It's basically a letter number combination, A1 to J10. And if you don't have any of them that line up next to each other, you could be at somewhat of a disadvantage, especially if somebody, like whenever those letter and number combinations come up, you're going to see all of them in the game, but the one that you want might get snatched up.
You could do a free draft too.
You can, but I'm just saying
you're still not guaranteed to get.
You're not guaranteed to get the one that's going to bring all of your numbers together until the very end, and that might negatively affect your score. However,
but you can pick up cheap plots on the
you can.
And then hope to build something later.
You don't have to. What you start out with is ultimately not what you have to stick with.
Of course.
You could, like, I remember in the game that we played, C10, D10, and E10 all came out and were draftable at the same time. Not that you can draft them all, but you can end up, maybe if you pick up one while everybody else is short of cash, then you might get the second one on there and dissuading other people to take the third one.
Well, that's why I think the game is pretty clever.
I agree completely.
Because you might get to be sneaky like that. Or you might just, in the first round, just do nothing but take money every turn, which is what I ended up doing. But I had money for the whole game. I didn't have to take money again. And I could draft whatever tile I wanted later, when it really mattered for me. So that really helped me.
Yeah, and Chad says even unbuilt lots are worth points in the end.
Sure, yeah.
He says, I was thinking I haven't really not liked any of Emerson's games.
Yeah.
He hasn't not liked.
Right.
He has liked all of them.
Century Spice, which I haven't played the third one yet still. It's on my unplayed shelf still.
Right.
So I should do that. But yeah, it's super solid game. Huge shelf hog.
Yeah. But I think I like what the buildings add. I like the fact that, I guess you could do it with just cardboard tiles, but I think it really stands out when I remove that building. What's left is what
I'm just saying it could be little wooden pieces.
They could be just wooden pieces.
Castles of Burgundy, and just replace the pieces.
Absolutely.
And it would give me the similar feeling in a smaller scale. Honestly, for me, it would be more likely to pull out and play at a scale like that versus the huge box. And I'm like, do I really want to pull that out right now and figure out setup? Though I can appreciate the totally upgrade. It's super beautiful.
So,
game.
as we were talking about before the stream, you think that it would have been better to have a deluxe edition and a standard edition instead of just the deluxe?
I think so, but that's just to play to all sorts of audiences who might not be attracted to the $150 price tag
I think,
whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's it. I would rather pull out the deluxe edition because size of box matters not to me.
It's just like. It's like a process, right?
No, it's the same setup.
No, it's not.
It's the same setup. I pull out my Boxo Chunko Bits. I pull the plastic top off the top. Boom, there's my Chunko Bits. Easy. Anyway.
I mean, no, it's a super nice production, that's for sure. I just, not everybody wants to dish out that kind of money on it. And on an
totally understand.
60-minute game.
Right.
Which,
it's not long.
It's super fast. I was not expecting that at all.
You think Big Chunky Bits is going to be a 3-hour game.
That's what I thought.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Chad says it's a good marriage of cathedrals and Chinatown. Exactly. Time Roll says player board's already set up for setup. Teardown's a different story. Teardown was not difficult.
It was fine. Yeah. It actually was not bad. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out Foundations of Rome. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, 8 out of 10.
Yep. No.
Check it. Check it out.
So what are we on?
This.
What's this? Oh, it's my number 4.
4.
So there is a game nominated for the Spiel des Jahres, right?
Yeah.
And it made my top 10.
It did.
And it's called Top 10. Imagine that. So a game with poo on the cover made my top 10.
No shocker there.
So, in top 10, who's it done by? Don't know.
Some French publisher. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. It is compared favorably to Wavelength.
Yeah.
In which there are cards numbered 1 to 10 that you deal out 1 to each person at the table.
Yeah.
And then Wavelength style, you're basically asking a question like, let's see, one of my
there's so many good examples.
There's so many good. That's the thing. I'm thinking of examples, and there's a ton of really good ones. It's like you're putting away this game box and you want to reassure it as you're putting it away. What do you say to it from least reassuring to most reassuring? So if you have a 1, you want to say something that is the least reassuring
I'm gonna burn
to
you.
this game box. And if you have a 10, you want to say something.
My precious, I love you. See you
I
tomorrow.
love you. Such a great game. I'm going to pick you up and play you every day. Now, here's the thing. If you have a 4 or a 5 or a 6, how reassuring do you make your statement to this box so that the captain, which is basically the judge, can guess the order from 1 to 10 of all the people at the table. So I will say something. I'll give James's example. He says top 10, more like -10, and he throws the box down. All right, so you might think he's at a 1 or a 2 or a 3.
You're going to Goodwill.
Oh my goodness. So you will listen to everyone's around the table. Now, nobody knows what everybody's number is except for the person who has the card, right? So if I've got a 1, I've got to make it worse than what just got said. If I've got a 2, I've got to hope that James had a 1, and I have to make it slightly less bad than that.
Yeah.
But if I think he's got a 3, I've got to make it more bad than that. Enough to make her think that it's in the right order. Now, whenever the time comes, Steph is going to point to people and say, yours is first, yours is next, yours is next. And if you get it right, nothing happens with the unicorns. Oh, did I mention there are unicorns? There are little magical unicorns. Basically, you'll have one unicorn per player count. And every time you make a mistake, you have offended the unicorns. And the unicorns will leave a poo and go away. Now, the front side of the token is a unicorn. The back side is poo. You basically flip over that token and it leaves its poo. And so that's why there's a poo on the box down here. I found out playing the game at 4 players versus 10 versus 8 or 9. We played it once with 9, I think.
It's crazy.
I found it to be noticeably harder at 8 or 9 than it is at 4. At 4 or 5. At 5, it's fairly easy to pick out a 1 versus a 4 versus a 5 versus a 10. Getting the slight distinctions between 1, 2, 3, and 4, which you're gonna have something like that in an 8-player game, because 8 of the numbers are there's a 9-player game with 8 numbers out. 2 numbers are off to the side. Oh, did I mention the captain has a number 2? Unless you're playing 9 players. Yeah. If you're playing 9 players, the captain does not have a number. If you're playing 8 players, the captain does have a number, and the captain does give an example. And it's good that the captain knows what his or her own number is.
Definitely helps.
So a lot of people, because you're doing it on a scale from 1 to 10, that's why it's compared to wavelength. It compares better than wavelength in that everyone participates. You don't just basically write it, in wavelength. If you're part of a team,
one person's doing a clue.
One person has a clue and the rest of everybody
is discussing.
Yeah. And if you are a sort of introvert or not a dominant personality, you can sort of, be railroaded over or just not participate or speak up much at all.
Sure.
This makes everyone participate.
I think it's clever, but I also think it's pretty clever because you do get to hear what other people are saying, and you can judge based on what they're saying to if you think you're lower or higher, and then arrange your response correctly. So, like at one point, I was like, Aldi had said, "I wrote a novel," and I'm like, "I wrote 2 novels." Like,
oh yeah, it was what would the president do after leaving office? And,
more likely or less likely to
more likely to do and less likely to do. And somebody said, be a host at a nursing home or something. And
be a dog walker.
Be a dog walker.
Aldi had said write a novel. And
write a memoir.
Memoir, yeah.
And you said write a second memoir. So likely to write a memoir, not as likely to write a second memoir, but still likely.
We were right on, right?
And
so
you
I
were
was
right
6,
on.
he was 7.
You were right underneath, and that's the thing. Not only does the captain have to gauge it out, you have to gauge everybody out to fit yourself in there.
No, that's what I really like about it. I think it's really interesting, and I like having to think of an answer for these different topics.
Yes.
I think, it gives everybody a chance to participate, which is really where it shines.
Yeah. Now, the French, they can tend to get controversial.
Yeah.
Where they have no problem speaking about things like religion or politics or social structures or anything like that. That could cause a lot of division in your particular gaming group.
But you don't have to play with those questions.
You don't have to play with those questions. So usually what you'll have a choice of 2 questions. You can choose one or the other.
Yeah.
We didn't have a problem at our table. Hey, Dutch Yoda, rating with a party of 12. What were y'all playing? So I did not tend to have much of a problem with the questions, but the French, they can be risque. They will talk about sex. They will talk about politics. They'll talk about religion. They'll talk about social stuff. They don't care. They will talk about it. So you may have to filter it for your gaming group. But it's totally a really fun experience. And Steph said it fires wavelength for you.
Yeah, top 10 totally fires wavelength.
It doesn't
so much
fire
fun.
wavelength for me because I think there is something about trying to hit that dial exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of
because
fun.
it's not a number, it's a spot, which is sort of a percentage number. But, then you've got those like slight gradations, it's not a 4, it's not a 5, maybe 4.5, and you put it right there, and it's really fun when it's right there.
But it's also fun to try and reveal people's answers in top 10. I mean, I think top 10 is just more clever. I would always choose to play top 10 over wavelength, though I wouldn't say I'm not playing wavelength again. I just saying I would always choose to play.
You would
top
almost
10.
always choose to play top 10. Setup is nothing.
The setup is
it's 10 cards,
yeah.
and then the deck of questions. So
yeah.
Now the questions weren't in English.
Yeah.
They had mock-ups created for the convention, and Eric had
his
the
own
master
copy.
sheet.
Yeah, he had his own copy. So we're waiting for the English edition.
Chat
of
says,
top 10.
one is, hi, I'm Eric Martin. And we played with Eric 3 games, so
yeah.
We are used to Eric's answers, though we can't say that we knew where he was coming from with a lot of them. But
I couldn't gauge him at all. I had no idea. He was like, I'm playing to you because you're the one judging these. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to live at a chicken nugget palace place.
Yeah, he's like, one of the choices was Chicken Nugget Palace, and
that's probably a 5. It wouldn't be terrible to be stuck there.
Oh, so it was how quickly do you want to leave this place? 1 is I'm ready to leave now, and 10 is I want to stay here forever. And so Candace says a board game convention
in Aruba. Michael says a board game convention in Dallas. I'm like, okay.
So board game convention in Aruba, you want to stay there forever. A board game convention in Dallas, you want to stay there a few days, right?
Yeah.
Which, it was a 4-day convention. I wanted to nail it right there.
It seemed pretty good. And he said, Chicken Nugget Palace Worlds.
No, the one down, one of them down in the low numbers was a chicken place, but Michael hasn't finished eating yet.
I said the movie theater.
And you said a movie theater, so slightly longer. So minutes versus hours.
Yeah.
Versus days for mine versus months for Candace's.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
Whatever it was. And Eric says Chicken Nugget Chicken Palace. And he was hoping he had
I'm like, it's lower than movie theater.
It's lower than movie theater.
And
because you don't want to be at a Chicken Nugget Chicken Palace.
He needed to fit in there between Michael and Candace.
He needed to fit between, a 4-day convention and forever, and he chooses Chicken Nugget Chicken Palace.
What?
Sorry, Eric. I just didn't.
He should have said a board game convention on sea or something. I don't know.
No, something smaller than, something smaller than Dallas, because his was higher.
Higher than yours.
Higher than mine, so he needed to have it. Yeah,
somewhere
at
after.
sea.
He's like, but that's not attractive. I'm like, but you can tell that Candace would be really excited to go to Aruba for a board game.
Well, I mean, he's been to Gathering. It's longer than BGG.
I know. I'm just saying. He probably should have just said Gathering.
Yeah. Boom. Done. A board game convention in Niagara. Done. But yeah.
Can't tell what's going on. He's like, I'm playing to you. I'm like, I don't want to live at the Chicken Nugget Palace.
So, yes, it's important to play to your audience, but it's also important to actually play to the question.
Oh, my goodness. So funny.
But it was fun every time. Even when we got it wrong, it was really fun. Now,
it's really fun.
The one weakness of this of top 10 is the scoring. Because losing, I think when you have 8 players, you'll have 8 unicorns, but you're going to lose them far more often than if you have a 4-player game. You're not going to lose those unicorns as often because you're only having 4 choices for each question. I think 8 is much harder because you're getting those 1 versus 2 versus 3 versus 4 versus 1, 2, 5, 8 or something, or
Yeah, Time Roller says we would just play like just one where the points just don't really
The points
matter.
just don't matter, exactly. And so that's
and that's fine for me.
That's what I would recommend, is that don't care too much about the points. Just have fun with the experience.
Yeah, it's like a good game, yeah.
And just, hey, keep track of the ones you get wrong, and you try to just minimize it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Right.
So fun.
Yeah, so top 10 makes my top 10 at number 4.
Yeah. This is really good.
Yeah, try to get many in a row. That's exactly.
Just want to do a shout out to Dutch Yoda.
But nuggies.
Thanks for that raid, guys. We're talking about our top 10 games that we learned in May.
Yoda was painting Return to Dark Tower. I
awesome.
want Return to Dark Tower.
Yeah.
But we don't
Lady
have
Taka says, hiya.
Hiya.
Welcome in.
Hiya, Taka.
We were talking about our number 4, or Michael's number 4, which was a game called Top 10.
Oh, no. Taka, 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 taka.
Tosses confetti. No, that's what this is.
Taka.
What?
Taka.
Now we gotta do this. Where is it?
Taka.
Just because I can.
Taka. Come over here. Do
Yay!
this.
I got confetti for the occasion.
Just because you can. Your number 4 is... Hey, Ruckus.
Hey, Time Roller, thanks for those biddies.
Thanks, Time Roller.
Hey, Ruckus.
With Steph cold right now, she sounds a bit like Azul.
What you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Let the record show. Let the record show.
At the record show.
No, he's got an arm. He has his arm. All right, my number 4. We already talked about it, but since we have our Raiders, let's talk about it again.
What?
It's Full Throttle.
Oh, yeah. Full Throttle.
I love this.
That was my number 10.
That was your number 10 way
Yes.
back when.
This is your number 4.
My number 4.
Wow.
I really like this.
Yeah.
I really like betting.
So you don't like race games,
I don't like race
but
games.
you love this.
I love this. I think it's
Whoa.
super great. I think, the subtleties of pulling out the right card at the right time and knowing which card to pitch, because I know you're collecting yellow or whatever. I'm going to throw away the high yellow cards. It's like one of those, it's like, and then at the end of the game, yellow's like winning. You're like, how? I have to take yellow cards now and to catch up to Michael because I know he has yellow cards.
For the Raiders in the audience, yeah, you've got it's basically a race game, sort of like Downforce, where you have to bet on certain color racers to make it in, first, second, third. And here's the catch: whenever you take a card saying that you are going to bet on them, you're also taking away that card for them to be able to race around the course. So you're basically hurting the one you're voting for.
Yeah.
The last player to play also takes out one entirely from the game. And so they're trying to kill the ones that you are taking. And so it matters which cards come up in each round, because one of them might be taken out because they know that you are going for it. So
It's true.
I think that the scoring is unique in that game. So
Yeah, for sure.
definitely worth.
I really, really like it. I think it's super fun. I think it's great for the family, but great for whoever, just casual gaming. It's not heavy, and so it's like perfect for like an end of the night kind of thing, or people, it's easy for people to play. It's just like this has so much going on for it.
It's short, does not overstay its welcome. 3 laps, it's done, and the laps go quickly.
Yeah.
You're never really out of it, because the last place racer often has a really good opportunity to catch up, because once people start seeing that red is ahead, they're going to start taking red out of the pool. When red is out of the pool, maybe blue can go around lapping everybody else. So that's what usually ends up happening.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, it's super cool.
Ruckus says, I won't spoil the winner of the Full Throttle Game Night episode, mostly because I don't remember. But yeah, we played it on stream, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I did.
You can check out our
Pretty
stream.
sure I lost because I always lose. I'm like, I'm gonna win. No, I don't win. I think it's so fun.
So yeah, your number 4 is a Friedman Freeze game.
Yeah.
Full Throttle.
Yeah, your number 3.
My number 3, which you had to go fetch the image really quickly.
I forgot to get it.
Is Prehistories. So this hits a lot of the things that I like, namely hidden card move, basically hidden worker placement, where you have a certain amount of workers that you are power worth of workers that you are sending out to go to the fields to collect these dinosaur pieces, and then you will put them onto this grid. And when you put them onto the grid, you are trying to race for victory conditions. So, if you're trying to get entire columns, or you're trying to get everything in the middle, or you're trying to get certain things to touch, or you're trying to connect up diagonally across the board, something like that. But you want to get certain things together a lot of times, or you want to have one of each symbol. And so you have to decide, do I go after the small, easy to get thing and be first? Do I try to go after the great big piece, but if I don't give enough power, she's going to go ahead of me? So I think it's sort of thematic. Your big, bulky hunters can kill things but move slowly. If Steph sends out her little fast workers, then she's going to be able to take them before I do. So let's say I send out 10 strength, hoping to take this little 4 square tile, right? Little Tetris shaped tile. And you had slightly less than that. Well, you're going to go first. You're going to get first dibs at it. And I'm taking it. If I have enough strength, though. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're just barely under what I am,
and
you end up taking it.
Yeah.
Just knowing that I'm going to take it. So I love the hate drafting aspect of it.
There's a lot of hate drafting in that game, yeah.
I like being able to place things on the grid. Here's another thing. You can't rotate those tiles. You can turn it over, which might be a different shape, and you can rotate it. You have to rotate it so that the critters on the cards are paws down or fin down in the case of a fish. But you can flip it over one way. You can turn it over, flip it the other way, but you can't do it however you like. Yeah. And so it's good. It makes things different.
Yeah.
So especially for a little S-shaped piece, there's certain ways you can fit it in. You can't flip it over and turn it around. You got to have it exactly the way that it is.
And I like everything you're saying. I like that about the game. I like playing the cards the way you do. I like creating sets and scoring points. Again, what usually would kill a game like this for me is the end, the race to the end. It's not something I ever really enjoy. So
you're trying to race to get rid of 8 of your victory tokens. Completing a row is 1 token. Completing a column is 1 token on this grid that you have. Completing a victory condition first is 2 tokens. And all that's fine. Doing a legendary one is 1 token. Oh, doing the victory condition after the first person is 1 instead of 2. So as long as you have done 8 of those, and it goes fairly quick.
Oh yeah, it's really quick.
But I think that's what hurts it for you is the race part of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought this hits your cylinders though. So.
No, I mean it didn't make my top 10, but it wasn't far from it. I did really enjoy it. I do think if you always are ending in about 20 rounds or something, I don't know what it actually is, but if you could just make the game that 20 rounds and whoever has completed.
Yeah, but then you have to track those 20 rounds.
Just saying.
It can be difficult.
Things like that would just automatically make it better, because I might not know that you have a big scoring opportunity with whatever tile is out there. It's then I have to kind of pay more attention to actually what you're doing and hate drafting a little bit better. But Yeah, I don't know. It just gives me a different feeling. I don't like the abrupt ending, I guess.
Yeah. A couple of small downfalls is,
Yeah.
so 3 space tiles can either be straight or they can be the bend. The 4 space tiles could be T's, they could be the S shapes, but you pretty much have to stack them all together. So 2 small problems. One, you can see the next tile that's going to be coming out into that space. And so if I know that Steph is collecting Stegosaurus, I'm going to try to avoid the ones that have that symbol on it. Or if I know it's coming soon, I'm going to avoid the symbol on it because I don't want her to get it. Also, if I know that I need a T shape and there's not a T shape, I have to dig for it or just give up on the fact that I'm ever going to get it.
Yeah, get
I think it might be better if they were drawn from a bag. Then again, you get the problem of when I'm feeling it, I could feel the T shape, and I pull that out. In any case, I try not to worry about it too much, and I try to shuffle them.
You could have
fairly.
2 stacks, I suppose, and choosing one of them.
You
when
could,
you go
but then
then
who chooses?
What do you mean, who chooses?
Who chooses the T versus the S on a
Whoever
4 space?
takes that space, you either choose one of the toe tops of the.
Could.
I don't know.
Anyway, I think it adds. That might add a little bit of complexity. The game is super light and doesn't really need it. I like the being able to sort of draft based on your strength.
Yeah.
I think it's fairly smart in how it does all of that. Anyway, it was good enough to make my number 3, and that one is from
25th century.
25th century.
Chad.
Yeah, Chad.
Yeah, I liked it.
Not Trashorama Chad, but
No,
Chad
other
Elkins. Yeah, 25th century Chad.
Yeah.
My number 3. What's your number 3?
My number 3 we just talked about at length.
Whoa.
Top 10.
Top 10, making your number 3 instead of my number 4.
Yes.
Yeah, and we did talk a lot about it. But
It's so good. I mean, it really is awesome.
Have you played all the Spiel nominees?
Yes. You have not played Cryptid.
I have not played Cryptid.
For me, this is by far the best of the 3.
So you're
Dune Imperium.
I love Dune Imperium.
I don't. Cryptid and then top 10. For me, top 10.
For you, top 10 wins.
I would choose it any day.
I like Dune Imperium.
I would play Cryptid again, though. I still have it, and I want to play it again.
I see those as 3 entirely different games.
They're completely all deduction.
Cryptid is deduction. Top 10 is a party game. And it's deduction, but it's not deduction like Cryptid is deduction. Cryptid is puzzle deduction, right? Am I right?
Yeah, you have to figure out the patterns and stuff.
Puzzle deduction.
Yeah.
One's a party game, and one's a strategic deck builder with worker placement aspects. They're 3 totally different games.
No. Was Dune Imperium?
I don't know.
No, because Cascadia was nominated too. So that maybe Dune Imperium and Cryptid were on the heavier Kennerspiel. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah.
But yeah, you're still rooting for top 10 for sure.
This was up against Cascadia.
Oh, I just now noticed it channeled my inner caveman.
Top 10 anyway. It's just so good. It's so good. Definitely play it.
Definitely play it.
Can't wait for that to come out.
That's your number 3. My number 2, we've already talked about at length.
Yes.
Foundations of Rome.
Yes.
I liked it a lot better than you did, even though...
No, I mean...
And it is somewhat abstract-y, but I really enjoy it.
Wait, you liked it better than an 8 out of 10?
I don't rate them the same way you do.
I know, but it's just like 8 out of 10 is really good.
Yeah, I think
I just played a lot of great games.
It's probably an 8 for me.
Yeah, so.
But
it was.
I don't know if I
didn't rate it way better than me. Just saying.
That's probably true.
You really liked it though.
I rated it higher on my 10.
Yeah.
Let the record show.
Yeah. So
finishes the room. My number 2.
It's great.
A lot of loveliness.
It's
in a
huge
huge box. And I want it.
Ginormous.
I want that ginormous box.
Ginormous.
Who just finishes the room?
Arcane, Robert. Where is he?
Oh, Arcane Wonders. Where are you, Robert? We love it.
Yeah, he comes into the chat sometimes. So.
Yep. So your number 2 is. I'm not sure I know what it is. I did not know what it is.
Next Station London.
Next Station London. I've never played it.
I learned it on Board Game Arena, and I've been playing it nonstop.
Wow.
I love it so much.
Oh, that's the game you've been playing.
Where
it looks like
it's a root building game where you're drawing.
You're building a root?
Roots, yeah.
Like a tree root?
Yeah.
You're building a tree root?
Yeah. And so there's like goals.
No, you mean you're building a subway station route. It's sort of like Mini Metro. For those of you who have played Mini Metro.
Or Metro X.
No, Mini Metro.
Mini Metro.
Mini Metro. I'm going to show you this, and you're going to go, "Oh wow!" Hold on, where is?
But anyway, it's just
so you do that. I don't want to do this.
Done. It's so addictive. You're gonna have 4 different colored pencils. 4 different colored pencils, and each time you're gonna draw cards. No, I'll have to look at it.
I'm about to show you.
He's showing me Mini Metro.
Look.
Yeah, that's cute.
It looks like that.
Yeah, it's cute. And you cross.
You make the little lines. You make the little lines like this, with the little geometric shapes.
Yeah, it's good. And so you're like making these connections and trying to score points the best you can. And I don't know. It's easily one of my favorite roll and writes. Like just gotta go play it on Board Game Arena. This is like amazing game. There's even a daily challenge over there. You try
just like Mini Metro.
Maybe they're very similar. I don't know. But like you can play with different levels of difficulty. Like you can add in you can add in like pencil powers if you want. You can add in goals to work on. But there's already a ton of ways to score points in just the base game, so you don't have to. But obviously,
so you're connecting the geometric shapes, right? And then you can have multiple color lines going out.
You shuffle up the deck of cards and you flip one. And so if you're using the pink pencil, you have 2. Well, if you start 1 point, you go anywhere from there. But if you draw a square, you're gonna draw a line to a square. From there, you're either gonna you pull the next card to triangle. You can either go from that end to a new triangle or that end to a new triangle. You're trying to go into the different regions, and you're going to score based on the number of regions you're in multiplied by the most cities you visited in a region.
All right, Mini Metro, the board game. That's
what it is. Highly recommended. We'll play it as soon as I get a copy because it's definitely going to be in the collection at some point. I just need it.
And who is that by?
Blue Orange.
Blue Orange again. It's 2 Blue Orange on your list.
Hey, they're knocking it out. That's all I'm saying.
They're doing well.
That's all I'm saying. It's really, 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 really great. This would have made the game of the month if it wasn't for this number 1 that we have here. But let me get that ready.
The number 1 we have here?
Yeah.
Are you saying we have the same number 1 game?
We do.
We do.
And if you watch the stream regularly, you probably know what it is.
You probably know.
Because we did play it on stream.
Yes, we did. And we played it live with the creator.
Yeah. The designer.
The designer of the game and publisher.
Lucky Duck Games.
Lucky Duck Games and Van Ryder Games. It is The Dark Quarter.
So good.
Whoa.
I thought this would be your number 1.
Yeah, I thought this would be your number 1. I wasn't sure, but I was thinking it would be.
Yeah.
Very thematic.
Maybe it's because we had Evan here. He just made it so much better.
Yeah, he had all the voices and everything.
I mean...
Because he does voices like I do voices.
I mean,
Whoa, you do voices? Yeah, amazingly enough.
He's a character. We should have him over.
He really is, and
I really like it.
Called this guy a blanking puppet. Puppet! Azul, here's your crowbar.
Made Azul a killer. Oh my
God. Yeah, it's me.
Well,
So,
hopefully you like it, Time Roller. I think it's a great game.
I like the theme. Yeah, I'm not big on the whole New Orleans vibe.
I liked it.
But it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm not usually big on New Orleans or jazz or voodoo, but I love all of it together, and it gives it the perfect darkness that this game needs.
I mean, it really is like dripping with theme.
And Evan went to New Orleans.
Yeah, he did
that.
research. Yeah, that's super cool.
So that he could make it super thematic.
Yeah.
With certain graveyards and certain parks and certain buildings and everything. And based on what you do, things will happen in the game. And it is app assisted. For those of you who don't care for app assisted games, sorry. But it is going to be included in more and more.
In my
and more
opinion,
games.
it's better with the app.
It adds stuff to it. Plus, the app walks you through it, so you're less likely to miss something.
But
like Journeys in Middle Earth, it walks you through it.
Yeah.
And other games that we've played, they walk you through it. And it lays the scenario out so nicely.
But what's also really cool with the Dark Quarter specifically is that the story changes based on what you choose to do.
What you're doing, yeah.
And I think that's like super clever.
So if you don't go to this building, you don't get this option.
Yeah, or like you'll have a timed thing that will be a consequence later in the game for you. Whether you choose left or right, you're going to go away and then it will come back to bite you.
Yeah, if you're not playing the investigator, you won't get this backstory and you won't get the help of this individual. If you don't pass this test, you won't get this. I like the skill system to where, okay, so like I've got skills at 4, 7, and 9 on combat. I roll the dice. If I get a 4, I get 1 success. A 7 is 2, a 9 is 3. And when I upgrade, I can either drop the 7 to a 6, I could drop the 4 to a 3, I could drop the 9 to an 8.
Yeah.
Whatever I want to do.
Hey, thanks for
following Taka.
Taka. Oh my goodness.
Taka. Yeah. So, fantastic game. Lucky Duck and Van Ryder knocked it out of the park with this one. Ta-da!
I agree. I think it's super great.
So yeah, we needed the confetti for number 1.
Yeah.
Number 1
and
for both
Taka,
of us
Lady
for
Taka.
the month, and for Taka.
You love the Taka chant. No, it's like super cool. If you like Mansions of Madness, the Dark Quarter gave me a lot of Mansions of Madness feeling.
No. Taka.
Oh my goodness. I guess that ends this.
And so that ends this. So definitely check out our stream of the Dark Quarter.
Yeah.
And with what Lucky Duck and Van Ryder are doing, I don't know if it's too late to pledge after post pledge time, because it's already, the funding is already done, right?
Yeah, but there might be late pledges.
There might be late pledges.
There probably will be.
Go check it out. You'll be missing out if you like dark, gritty.
It's definitely for mature audience.
It's definitely mature audiences. Don't play with the kids, unless they're into that sort of thing, I guess. But no, it is very, very adult, very gritty, very, dark.
It says link deleted. Yeah, she wrote laughing, dying, crying. Laughing, dying, not crying.
Oh, link deleted. Oh, she had to. No, that's the laughing, dying, crying link or something. So, sorry, Taka. We got the links turned off because of spammers.
Yeah. Dark Quarter. Good stuff.
Taka.
That was our top 10.
Taka.
Real fast. Your number 10?
Taka. Oh, my number 10, Full Throttle.
I thought you'd do the whole list.
Oh, My full top 10. Number 10, Full Throttle. Number 9, Tortuga, $21.99. Number 8, Downtown Farmers Market. Number 7, Set a Watch, Swords of the Coin. Number 6, Switch and Signal. Number 5, SOS Titanic. Number 4, Top 10, making my top 10. Number 3, Prehistories. Number 2, Foundations of Rome. Number 1, The Dark Quarter. Taka!
Number 10 for me, the Guild of Merchant Explorers. Number 9, Sumatra. Number 8, Get on Board New York and London. Number 7, Downtown Farmers Market. Number 6, Set a Watch, Swords of the Coin. Number 5, Foundations of Rome. Number 4, Full Throttle. Number 3, Top 10. Number 2, Next Station London. Number 1, The Dark Quarter.
Taka! Well, no.
So it's good. It was a good month. I wasn't sure you'd find 10, so I'm glad you were able to.
Well, because we were playing so much of the prototype game that we
It's true.
revealed off stream.
Top 10 is nominated for Spill the Jar. Yes. It's really good.
Yes.
It's really, really good.
Taka fires her glitter and confetti cannon. Oh, it was a period between each. That's what caused the laughing. Got it.
Yeah.
It treated it as a link. So yeah.
Those are our top 10s.
Yeah. So, and we didn't play a lot at BGG Con because we were busy buying and selling. And we were playing games with Aldi that he hadn't played. So we were basically facilitating.
I taught 2 games of Wonderland's War, which was great, but like, not a game that I learned, right? So.
Yeah, so we played the games that we had already played before.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of that. We had a lot of play testing, but we did have 10 of them that we thought we were worthy of our top 10. Certainly worth checking out. And it wasn't a bad month at all as far as quality. Just wasn't a lot of quantity.
Right. I learned 41, so it wasn't that many. And
we have a lot of good games up on tap for you in June.
Definitely. And we're not going anywhere in June. So
we're not going anywhere.
We'll be streaming a bunch.
We've got Planet Unknown that we got in.
Yeah, we got Planet
that we have played before, and it's
it.
already made our lists in past months.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have that to bring to you guys. We've got Pessoa and
Old Tree and Space Station Phoenix.
And Steph said I'm already gonna love. Yak, Squid Ink.
Vortex says Dark Quarters says on the Kickstarter page to get notified for late pledge, so they're gonna do it. They're gonna do a late pledge, so just get notified.
Taka says thank you for streaming. No, thank you for joining us with this. So we do the top 10 for you guys. So
we do it every month. Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, we stream every Wednesday and Sunday at 5 p.m. Central, and we usually play. Three games a night at least.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a huge game, but we usually, we stream from like 5 p.m. to at least 9 or 10, and usually on to midnight. So
sometimes a lot later.
Sometimes a lot later. So come join us on Twitch. Thanks for following and subscribing. For those of you who subscribe to us.
Yeah. We will be right back.
Yeah.